Welcome to the Lost Lives Scout, where we tally up the victims in horror movies, anime, TV shows, music videos, and beyond. I am your host, William Proudly, or Nexus. Today I'm diving into Psycho 1960. Released in 1960. Psycho was directed by Alfred Hitchcock, the legendary filmmaker behind Virgo and Birds. The children film was inspired by Ed, the real life killer Ed Gein, and based on the book of the same name by Robert Bach. Honestly, this is actually a good. Ed Gein is actually the one that actually killed his mother and wear his skin like. And it actually inspired a lot of other films. And one of the film that I actually wanted to do, but it kind of will be featured soon, American Psycho. Which, American Psycho is actually, at one ending that is actually messed up. We're not stopping with the original. I'll be covering the entire franchise, including the reboot. How many, and also, if I actually will cover, I'm actually covering Psycho, Psycho 2, Psycho 3, The Bates Motel, Psycho 4 at the beginning, and Psycho 1998. All these are really important to the series. How many lives lost did Norman Bates or especially his mother claim throughout the series? Let's find out and get to the lives lost. The movie begins with the classic Universal logo, followed by the Alfred Hitchcock iconic title card. The opening track of Taking the Rest of the Afternoon off the iconic Psycho theme. Kick the eerie tone. Honestly, to tell you the truth, this actually set the mood off for the whole series. First, the first scene kicks off in Phoenix, Arizona. At 2:43 p.m., we actually meet the two first characters. Joe Gavin, Sam Lewis, played by Joe Gavin, the first James Bond, and Sandra Talmadge from the horror movie Jennifer. And the horror legend Jennifer Leigh, who actually played John Carpenter, The Fog, and John Carpenter. She is the first ever. She, along with she is actually not only she is actually the first ever rated R horror movie character. They have to check into a cheap motel. Honestly, what actually happened is Marion wants to talk about everything under the sun and have relations with her boyfriend Sam Loomis, who actually is trying to pay off his father's death and dream of marrying him, and check into a cheap motel because they are actually planning on, well, to tell you the truth, Tom actually walked in after, honestly, one of the secretaries found out that her sister Lila is actually going to Tucson, and it's actually hot as fresh glass milk. Meanwhile, Tom is actually getting married, and he actually owed $40,000 private. Honestly, Tom keep his mouth shut and impulsively. They actually headache. And honestly, what actually happened is actually she packs up and leaves because she actually stolen money from her job and going to go. Psycho. The inspiration for Psycho is Les de Barre, a 1955 French psychological thriller by Henry Georges Cross, who actually celebrated the 70th anniversary this year. La Dabar, masterclass of Dabar, Cabal Dread, because the film features a wife and her husband mistress who conspired to murder the abusive husband by drowning him in the bathtub. If you actually want to know, this sinister plot is actually when the husband body disappeared, and honestly, this actually event culminated the shocking and narrative to influence Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. The bathroom scene, the storytelling, and everything about the thing. Marion is actually due, and Marion noticed, and everybody would look at her strangely and suspenseful. But Amanda's score began to swell. A police officer tap on the window and startled her roll down. You slept here all night? As she actually, how long you been sleeping? Dozed off. I haven't broken, she said nervously. And honestly, ma'am, no ma'am, just need to see her license. Your license. And honestly, she actually drive the way, and she actually watched her rearview mirror anxious as the music began to rise, and soon pull into the dealership, and she pretended to browse and flip the newspaper at Sir Park, and watching try to approach Marion. The salesman say, I'm in a hurry, I need a new car now. Raise traded the old one. Yes, I need to switch. Car plus $700. She agrees. Now she actually used the stolen money to reemerge with a new car. Get a new car, and the suburb shout, "Wait, hey, you forgot your luggage." And honestly, she actually did, and the tension fades, and honestly, the rain downpour and story. A young man, Norman Bates, greet her that empty welcome to room one. Honestly, this. Honestly, Norman is actually the canon lingers. She actually write down a fake name that he actually too polite, and later over sandwiches and milk, Norman talk about the power behind the office. Honestly, his mother didn't want to sell it to her, give her a room. He talked about what he actually liked. He didn't want to taxidermy dogs, but he actually wanted to taxidermy birds. A boy best friend is his mother, he say. That do. And he's stolen money, and she actually tears up and calculate. And Norman watch her through a peephole. Water pulled down and the music rises. A shadow move behind the curtain. The shadowy figure pulled the curtain and with a butcher knife stab her through the curtain. And 47 seconds, 47 minutes into the movie is shock and change horror. The storytelling of horror forever. This is actually this is appropriate for the what actually in this scene Alfred Hitchcock used Hershey chocolate syrup for blood because the blood is actually he actually used blood because it's actually black and white. So he it actually made it because it's like he said it's thick and runny. Honestly, Marion's sister Lila Crane, played by Vera Miles, is wondering where is Marion now. And she actually asked by Sam Loomis, which I already said who John Gavin is, about the whereabouts. And to uncover the truth, they actually enlist the private detective Mr. Arbogast, played by Martin Stillman. Arbogast is actually a detective who actually say Norman actually say Marion stayed the night, and Norman exhibited nervous behavior, claims that Marion never left abruptly. Suspicious investigate further. Norman brought to life by Anthony Perkins to a sly young man who in dark past that have a dark mother. who have a dominant mother. Who have a assuming the persona of a dominant mother. Who actually is isolated the base motel. Anthony Perkins Perkins portrayed Norman Bates, who actually is in 3 sequels: Psycho 2, Psycho 3, Psycho 4. The beginning, honestly, he also Perkins have Fear Strikes Out and The Orient Express. Lila is chilling and pretend to actually. Honestly, he actually wiped the bathroom and curtains and include the newspaper, the 4,000 cash, and place everything in Marion's truck and put it in the swamp. For the moment that the car sinks and suspenseful, Norman smiled and reassured that realized that the movie isn't about Marion escaping with the money. It's about Norman. If you actually want to know, I'm actually not going to spoil what actually is showcasing Norman, the silly and nervous boy, versus the cold cover-up. Alfred Hitchcock hold a long shot, Maryland music and barrel suspense. Several days pass. Avogast, played by, is hired by Marion to recover the missing 4,000 and 40,000. And honestly, he actually questioned people nearby, and he actually went to ride in the base motel, and he actually come and collected the about the missing person, especially Marion Crane, whom he refers to by her narrative Mary Samuel. Norman denied seeing her at first, but Abigail's sharp instinct kicks in and watches constantly. Norman say no one been at the hotel for a week. Then he say a woman came in and stayed one night, but left early. Abigail knows hesitantly, nervously. Later, Abigail returned to the basement property. This time, Norman, some mother, he actually sneaked into the house and figured dress up, pure rush. Abigail, he died instantly at 1 hour and 05 minutes. It reveals Norman cover is slipping. Honestly, reports Sam Lewis and Lila Crane is actually nervous about her sister that actually Abigail has returned. So they actually decided to get the sheriff involved, and honestly, I would guess last seen at the Bates Motel, and the sheriff Wade Norman Bates' mother has been dead and buried in a Greenwall cemetery for 10 years. The brothers stunned as Lila and Sam. They exchange glances, and Norman live alone. And the morning Lila shaken, and the more audience is now in suspense. Who did Abigail see? Who in the house? What is Norman Hyatt? A cue seeing the Bates cuts to the Bates Hotel. Lights are faintly grow in upper window. Sam and Lila arrive at the Bates Motel. Norman greets the front desk as he reads. Lila poses at Mr. and Mrs. Wilson, a married couple that actually checks them in. He gives them cabin 10, far away cabin 1, where Marion is stay. Norman awkwardly say he walk off. Lila whispered to Sam, "We're find out what in the house." After Norman disappear, Sam distract him by striking him a conversation power, and the motel hit probing him about the motel, the guests. Meanwhile, Lila sneak up to cabin 1. Inside, she search and open the drawers, look in the bed, and check the bedroom. She found a torn scrap of paper with Marion handwriting. She was here. Lila had. Then she went up to the. And she actually entered the Bates bedroom, and an eerie, untouched imprint on the bed, a closet of old clothes, a vanity of a silver hairbrush. Downstairs, Norman began to grow suspicious, and Norman grow of Sam's question. He grow angry, and he actually knock. Sam is stalling, and Norman slowly attack and knock him unconscious. Lila now alone his house. She creeped down a single bulb overhead. It's too quiet. Too quiet. It's quiet. Too quiet. She entered a black room, dark, dank, and a figure sit motionless. Lila slowly approached, breathed shallow, a mumbling woman, Mrs. Bay, long dead, a horrific grim, and shriek. A shriek of the music slashes in. Lila screamed in terror, and suddenly Norman burst in, wearing a mother's dress and wig and raising a knife. He became his mother, and as Sam tackled him to the ground, the wig fall off, snarl and struggling. But it's over at the police station. The circle explained everything. Norman Bates suffered from a split personality disorder known as dissociative identity disorder. After poisoning his mother and his lover years ago, which I will actually explain in beginning in Cycle 4, the beginning. but I will actually go in order. He kept her body, preserve her voice and personality inside himself. When Norman felt attractive, like to Marion, Mother took control and kill him. The dominant personality is now Mother. We fade cold, and Norman Bates sit quietly with a blanket, but it's his face. The voiceover is no longer Norman's. No longer Norman's. It's his mother. It's sad when a mother words condemn his own son. It allows him to commit murder. They put it all on him. It all they want. I'll show them. I'll prove I'm no murderer. They see. They see, and they know. They say why she wouldn't hurt, even harm or fry. Norman look up and smile faintly but disturbingly. A supposed smile of a skull flicker his face. Mother fully control at the final shot of card, a grim shot of the crime committed, and that's it. How many lives lost in Psycho 1960? Left by none get to kill. I don't think this work. I don't think Nexus. Don't think he can hurt a fly. I think we can't hurt to the numbers. Let's get to the numbers. Numbers will hurt a fly. The number. 2 people lost their lives in Psycho. One man, one woman. This is the lowest lives lost on the channel. With a runtime of 109 minutes, we got lives lost every hour. A rate of 1.80 minutes. With the great acts of execution, I give it to Marion. This iconic shower scene is changed horror forever, and honestly, this actually credited to Alfred Hitchcock's of where we actually see he used chocolate syrup, Hershey chocolate syrup in the scene. The Whippy accidental, this again, go to none. Honestly, I couldn't give it to the second death because, frankly, the second death isn't bad. It's actually another iconic death in the season. It also featured in Psych. That's it. Psycho was released in 1960 and followed by Psycho 2, which I will cover. But for now, I'm actually going to cover Drop, released in 2025. This is actually... I am not joking. Drop actually got released. So Drop will be the next one. Have a good day. Nexus is out. Bye.